Chapter 1. The Fading Rainbow. Once upon a time, in a land where colors dance freely across the sky, there was a magnificent rainbow that stretched from horizon to horizon. This rainbow was not just a beautiful sight, it was the heart and soul of the magical kingdom of Rainbowville. The vibrant hues of the rainbow kept the land joyful and full of life. But one day, the colors began to fade, leaving the sky a dull, lifeless gray. The once cheerful land was now cloaked in a blanket of gloom. In the heart of the kingdom, Sparkle the unicorn was prancing through the fields with her best friend, Twinkle the Fairy. Sparkle's iridescent mane shimmered in the dim light, and her hooves left trails of stardust with every step. Twinkle, with her tiny wings fluttering behind her, was busy casting sparkles of magic that seemed more like twinkling fireflies than useful spells. Twinkle, look! Sparkle exclaimed, pointing with her hoof at the now pale rainbow. The colors are disappearing. This is terrible. Twinkle squinted at the sky and frowned. Oh dear, you're right, Sparkle. Without the rainbow, everything's going to look as dreary as my Aunt Glimmer's old socks. Before Sparkle could respond, a sudden gust of wind whooshed by, and a small, shimmering figure appeared in front of them. It was Rainbow Song, the guardian of the rainbow, her presence as ethereal as the rainbow itself. Sparkle, Twinkle, Rainbow Song said in a gentle, melodic voice. The rainbow's colors have been stolen, and the kingdom is losing its magic. I need your help to restore them. Stolen? Sparkle's eyes widened. Who would do such a thing? Rainbow Song's face grew solemn. Shadowclaw, a sinister shadow creature who seeks to steal the rainbow's power for himself. He's hidden the colors in a secret lair, and only you can retrieve them. Twinkle's eyes sparkled with mischief. Oh, this sounds like a grand adventure. I hope Shadowclaw's lair is filled with funny traps and maybe a few dancing trolls. Rainbow Song floated closer. You must be cautious. Shadowclaw's lair is guarded by devious creatures, and the colors are protected by powerful magic. With a determined nod, Sparkle turned to Twinkle. Let's get started. We'll need all the help we can get. Twinkle's wings fluttered excitedly. And we'll need some snacks for the journey. Magic burns a lot of calories, you know. As they set off, Sparkle's mischievous puppy, Sparkly, trotted along beside them, wagging his tail. Sparkly was a bundle of energy and had a knack for getting into trouble. He barked happily, adding a touch of humor to their quest. Their first stop was the Enchanted Forest, a place known for its magical creatures and curious inhabitants. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they encountered a talking tree named Grand Oak. Greetings, travelers, Grand Oak rumbled. What brings you to my neck of the woods? We're on a quest to find the stolen rainbow colors, Sparkle explained. Grand Oak's branches swayed thoughtfully. Ah, Shadowclaw, I've heard he's been up to no good. But beware, the path ahead is filled with mischief. The color thief has been causing trouble too. Twinkle's eyes twinkled with excitement. A color thief? Sounds like someone who'd rather hoard colors than use them for anything fun. Grand Oak chuckled, causing a shower of leaves to fall. Indeed, he lives in an underground lair, hoarding the colors and making sure no one else can use them. But don't worry, the forest elder might be able to help you. Thank you, Grand Oak, Sparkle said, and with that, they continued on their way. The enchanted forest was full of strange and wondrous sights. As they walked, they saw flowers that danced when tickled by the breeze, and sprites that played pranks by tying knots in their shoelaces. Oops, Sparkle laughed as she tripped over a knot. I think these sprites are trying to help us, or make us trip. Twinkle giggled. Well, at least they're keeping us entertained. Just then, a small, sparkling figure appeared in front of them. It was the color pixie, a tiny fairy who sparkled with every color of the rainbow. Hello, Sparkle and Twinkle, the color pixie chimed. I hear you're looking for the missing colors. I'm here to assist you. Sparkle's eyes lit up. That's wonderful. We could use all the help we can get. The color pixie fluttered around them. Follow me, and I'll guide you to the color thief's lair. But first, you'll need to solve a riddle to enter. Oh, I love riddles. Twinkle exclaimed. Lay it on us. The color pixie hovered in front of them and recited, I'm not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? Sparkle and Twinkle pondered for a moment. Aha, it's fire! Sparkle exclaimed. The color pixie clapped her tiny hands. Correct. You may proceed. But remember, the color thief is tricky and doesn't like visitors. As they followed the color pixie deeper into the forest, they could hear the distant sounds of laughter and clinking coins. The color thief's lair was near. Sparkly, with his usual enthusiasm, darted ahead, barking and wagging his tail. I hope he doesn't scare the color thief away. With their spirits high and their path set, Sparkle, Twinkle, and their new friends continued their quest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Little did they know, their adventure was only just beginning, and their journey would be filled with laughter, magic, and a few unexpected surprises. As Sparkle, Twinkle, and the color pixie ventured deeper into the forest, the air grew thick with enchantment and mystery. The trees seemed to whisper secrets as they passed, and the path became more winding and overgrown. Sparkly, ever the eager explorer, darted ahead and sniffed around with curiosity, occasionally chasing after fluttering fireflies. So, what's the color thief like? Sparkle asked the color pixie, trying to keep her mind off the eerie atmosphere. The color pixie twirled in the air. The color thief is a grumpy old troll who's obsessed with collecting things. He's not too fond of visitors and is known to be quite clever when it comes to hiding his hoard. Twinkle's wings buzzed with excitement. Sounds like we'll need to be on our toes. I hope he doesn't mind a bit of fairy dust. They soon arrived at the entrance to the color thief's lair, a large cave hidden behind a cascading waterfall. The entrance was guarded by a pair of stone statues that seemed to glare down at them. The color pixie fluttered up to the entrance and whispered a few magical words. The statues slowly moved apart, revealing a dark tunnel. This is where we part ways, the color pixie said. I'll keep watch from here and signal you if anything goes wrong. Thank you, color pixie, Sparkle said, and with a deep breath, she and Twinkle entered the cave. The interior of the cave was dimly lit by glowing crystals embedded in the walls. The air was cool and musty, and the sound of dripping water echoed throughout. Sparkly trotted along happily, his nose twitching with excitement. Look at all these treasures, Twinkle exclaimed, noticing piles of shimmering objects scattered around the cave. The color thief really likes to hoard. Sparkle's eyes widened as she spotted a large chest in the corner of the cave, overflowing with colorful, sparkling orbs. These must be the missing colors. Before they could approach, a gruff voice boomed from the shadows. Who dares enter my lair? From the darkness emerged the color thief, a hulking troll with a scruffy beard and a scowl that could curdle milk. He wore a cloak made of patchwork colors, a clear sign of his obsession with collecting. Oh, Twinkle whispered. He looks even grumpier than I imagined. The color thief stomped forward, glaring at them. You're here to steal my treasures, aren't you? Well, you'll have to get past me first. Sparkle stepped forward with a determined look. We're not here to steal. We need to restore the rainbow, and the colors you've taken are crucial to that. The color thief's eyes narrowed. Restore the rainbow? Why should I help you? I've worked hard to collect these colors, and I'm not giving them up easily. Twinkle floated closer, her wings sparkling with a hint of mischief. Perhaps there's a way we can make a deal. We're quite good at solving puzzles and riddles. How about a challenge? The color thief's grumpy expression softened slightly. A challenge, you say? I do enjoy a good riddle. Fine, if you can solve my riddle, I'll consider returning the colors. Twinkle clapped her hands excitedly. Great, let's hear it. The color thief scratched his chin and then recited, I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I? Sparkle and Twinkle exchanged puzzled glances. Sparkle said, this one's tricky. Twinkle fluttered around, thinking hard. Wait, I've got it. It's a map. The color thief's eyes widened in surprise. Well done. I didn't think you'd get that one so quickly. Very well, I'll give you a chance to retrieve the colors. But you must first prove your worth. He pointed to a series of enchanted obstacles set up around the cave. To reach the colors, you must pass through the color maze. Each section has its own challenge. Only those who truly deserve it can make it through. Sparkle nodded resolutely. We'll do it. We need those colors to restore the rainbow. The color thief grumbled but stepped aside, allowing them to enter the maze. The first section was a room filled with shifting mirrors that created confusing reflections. Sparkle and Twinkle had to navigate their way through by figuring out which reflections were real and which were illusions. This is like a fun house, Twinkle said, giggling as she flew past a particularly tricky mirror. I feel like we're on a game show. They made it through the mirror maze and arrived at the second section, which was a room with floating platforms over a bottomless pit. They had to jump from platform to platform, avoiding traps that popped up along the way. Sparkly barked excitedly as he jumped alongside them, adding an element of playful chaos to the challenge. Finally, they reached the last section, where they found the stolen colors. They were locked inside a magical cage with a combination lock. This is it, Sparkle said. We just need to figure out the combination. Twinkle's eyes sparkled with determination. Let's use our combined wits. We can do this. After a few moments of intense concentration and a bit of fairy dust sprinkled here and there, they managed to unlock the cage. The colors floated out, swirling around them in a dazzling display. You did well, the color thief admitted as he watched them. Maybe there's more to you than I thought. You've earned these. With the colors in their possession, Sparkle and Twinkle made their way back to the entrance of the cave, where the color pixie greeted them with a happy dance. You did it, the color pixie cheered. Now, let's restore the rainbow. As they left the cave, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly felt a renewed sense of excitement and accomplishment. The adventure was far from over, but they had taken a significant step toward bringing back the joy and beauty of the rainbow. Chapter 2: Whispers in the Dark. With the stolen colors safely in their possession, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly made their way out of the color thief's lair and into the forest once more. The forest, once dark and mysterious, now seemed to shimmer with a renewed sense of hope. The colors they had recovered began to emit a faint glow, casting a warm light on their path. As they continued their journey, the moon rose high in the sky, bathing the forest in silvery light. The air was cool, and a gentle breeze rustled through the trees. Sparkle felt a sense of anticipation building as they approached the next stage of their quest. I can't wait to see the rainbow restored, Sparkle said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. But we still have more colors to find. Twinkle fluttered beside her, her tiny wings creating a soft, melodic hum. Yes, and we must remain vigilant. There are still many obstacles ahead. The color thief mentioned Shadowclaw, and we must be cautious. Just then, a shiver of unease passed through the forest. The once gentle whispers of the trees turned into unsettling murmurs, and the shadows seemed to grow darker and more menacing. Sparkly let out a low growl, his ears perked up as if sensing something amiss. I don't like the look of this, Twinkle said, her light flickering nervously. It feels like something is watching us. Sparkle nodded. Stay alert, everyone. We need to be ready for anything. As they moved deeper into the forest, the shadows seemed to come alive, shifting and twisting as if trying to obscure their path. Strange, eerie whispers filled the air, and the temperature dropped noticeably. Suddenly, the forest erupted into chaos. A swarm of shadowy figures emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. The figures were none other than Shadowclaw's minions, sinister creatures that seemed to be made of pure shadow. Looks like we've got company, Twinkle shouted, her wings fluttering rapidly as she prepared to cast a spell. Sparkle braced herself, her horn glowing with a soft, magical light. Stay close and stay calm. We can handle this. The shadow creatures lunged at them, but Sparkle's magic created a protective barrier around her and her friends. The barrier shimmered with the colors they had recovered, creating a brilliant shield against the darkness. Twinkle began chanting an incantation, her voice rising above the din of the shadow creatures. By the light of the moon and stars so bright, banish the shadows, bring back the light. A burst of fairy magic erupted from Twinkle's wand, sending a wave of shimmering light through the forest. The shadow creatures recoiled, their forms dissipating into wisps of dark mist. That should keep them at bay for now, Twinkle said, panting slightly. But we need to hurry. Shadowclaw won't be pleased to see us. Sparkle nodded. Let's keep moving. We need to find the next color and figure out how to deal with Shadowclaw. As they pressed on, the forest began to grow quieter. The eerie whispers faded, replaced by the soothing sounds of crickets and rustling leaves. The moonlight filtered through the trees, casting a soft glow on their path. I've heard there's a hidden grove where the next color might be found, Twinkle said. It's said to be guarded by a magical creature, who only appears to those with pure hearts. Sparkle's eyes brightened. Let's find that grove. We could use a little more magic on our side. Following Twinkle's directions, they soon arrived at a clearing surrounded by ancient, towering trees. In the center of the clearing was a beautiful, sparkling pool, its waters shimmering with a soft, golden hue. This must be it, Twinkle said, her eyes wide with wonder. The magical creature should be here. As they approached the pool, a soft, melodic voice echoed through the clearing. Welcome, travelers. I am the guardian of the grove. What brings you to my sanctuary? From behind a shimmering curtain of vines, a graceful figure emerged. It was a magnificent creature with the body of a deer and wings of pure light, a creature of breathtaking beauty and elegance. We're on a quest to restore the rainbow, Sparkle said, her voice filled with reverence. We've recovered some of the colors, but we need your help to find the next one. The guardian of the grove gazed at them with kind, knowing eyes. You have already shown great courage and kindness. The next color you seek is held by the rainbow's Bane, an imp who delights in causing chaos. He resides in a hidden cave within the misty mountains. Twinkle's eyes narrowed in determination. We'll find him and recover the color. Thank you for your guidance. The guardian of the grove dipped her head in a graceful bow. Be careful and remember, the power of the rainbow lies not only in its colors but in the hearts of those who seek to restore it. With their new destination in mind, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly thanked the guardian and set out toward the misty mountains. The journey ahead promised to be filled with challenges and obstacles, but they were determined to see their quest through to the end. As they made their way through the darkening forest, Sparkle couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. The adventure was far from over, and they were one step closer to restoring the rainbow and bringing joy back to the kingdom. Chapter 3: The Color Puzzle. The journey to the misty mountains was anything but uneventful. As Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly navigated the dense forest, they encountered various magical creatures and whimsical obstacles. The misty air grew cooler as they approached the mountains, and the sky began to darken, painting the landscape in shades of blue and gray. After a long day of trekking, they finally reached the base of the misty mountains, where the air was thick with fog. The path ahead was steep and treacherous, but Sparkle's determination kept them moving forward. We should find a place to rest before we tackle the mountains, Twinkle suggested. I don't think we'll want to navigate this fog in the dark. They found a cozy nook between two large rocks, where Sparkly immediately curled up and fell asleep. Sparkle and Twinkle set up a small campfire, its warm glow piercing through the mist. As they sat by the fire, Sparkle looked thoughtfully at the colors they had recovered. We've made great progress, but we still have a lot to do. I wonder what the rainbow's Bane will be like. Twinkle flicked her wand, sending sparkles into the air. From what I've heard, he's quite the troublemaker, always causing mischief and getting in the way. We'll need to be clever to outsmart him. The next morning, they began their ascent up the misty mountains. The fog clung to the mountainside, making it difficult to see, but Sparkle's sharp eyes and Twinkle's magical light helped guide the way. After hours of climbing, they finally reached the cavern hidden behind a waterfall. The entrance was adorned with ancient runes, and a faint glow emanated from within. This must be the place, Sparkle said, peering into the darkness. Let's see if we can find the rainbow's bane. As they entered the cavern, they were greeted by an unexpected sight. A large, ornate door with a series of intricate puzzles etched into its surface. The door seemed to be a combination lock, with different symbols and patterns that needed to be aligned correctly. Well, this looks challenging, Twinkle said, examining the door. I'm guessing the rainbow's bane has set this up to keep intruders out. Sparkle nodded. Let's tackle this puzzle. The sooner we solve it, the sooner we can find the next color. The first puzzle was a series of colored tiles that needed to be arranged in a specific sequence. Each tile had a different pattern, and they had to match the patterns to unlock the first section of the door. Twinkle fluttered her wings in excitement. I love puzzles. Let's see if we can figure this out. Sparkle and Twinkle worked together, carefully aligning the tiles. Sparkly, ever the playful pup, occasionally pawed at the tiles and barked, as if trying to help. After several attempts and a lot of laughter, they finally managed to align the tiles correctly, and the door creaked open to reveal another chamber. Inside the chamber, they found a large, spinning wheel with colorful segments. The wheel was inscribed with a riddle. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Twinkle furrowed her brow in thought. This one's a bit tricky. Sparkle tapped her chin. I think I know the answer. It's a joke. The wheel began to spin faster as Sparkle spoke the answer. The colors on the wheel aligned, and the chamber's entrance opened up further, revealing another puzzle. This time, the challenge was a series of glowing orbs that needed to be placed in the correct order, according to their color and brightness. The pattern was complex, and it took all of their combined effort to solve it. Almost there, Twinkle said, her magic flaring as she carefully placed the last orb. With a final click, the orbs lit up and the door to the next chamber opened. They stepped inside, their eyes adjusting to the dim light. In the center of the chamber stood a pedestal with a small, shimmering box. The box was covered in runes that matched the ones on the door. Sparkle approached it cautiously. This must be it, Sparkle said, her voice filled with awe. The next color is inside. As she reached for the box, a sudden burst of laughter echoed through the cavern. From the shadows emerged a small, impish figure with a mischievous grin. Rainbow's Bane. Ha! So you've made it past my puzzles, Rainbow's Bane exclaimed, floating above them. But you're not going to get the color so easily. You'll have to play my game first. The imp clapped his hands, and a series of colorful illusions and tricks appeared around them. The illusions danced and flickered, making it difficult to focus. Twinkle tried to cast a spell to clear the illusions, but Rainbow's Bane was quick to counter with his own magic. The chamber was soon filled with laughter, flashing lights, and playful chaos. Sparkle, determined not to be distracted, used her horn to focus on the pedestal. Twinkle, we need to stay focused. Let's work together and figure out how to beat his tricks. Twinkle nodded, her eyes narrowing in concentration. Got it. Let's use our combined magic to outsmart him. With synchronized effort, Sparkle and Twinkle channeled their magic to counter the illusions and neutralize Rainbow's Bane's tricks. Their combined power created a brilliant burst of light that cleared the chamber and revealed the true color hidden within the box. Rainbow's Bane, now appearing slightly flustered, hovered above them. You've won this round, but don't think you've seen the last of me. With a final flash, the imp disappeared, leaving Sparkle and Twinkle victorious. They retrieved the color from the box and prepared to leave the chamber. Well done, everyone, Sparkle said, her heart swelling with pride. We're one step closer to restoring the rainbow. Twinkle fluttered her wings happily. And we've proven that we can handle whatever challenges come our way. As they made their way back down the misty mountains, the colors they had recovered began to glow even brighter, adding a touch of warmth to the cold, misty air. Their adventure was far from over, but with each victory, they grew stronger and more determined to restore the rainbow and bring joy back to their land. Chapter 4: The Rainbow Bridge. With the latest color safely in their possession, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly descended the misty mountains, the mist now retreating to reveal a clearer path ahead. They made their way toward the next part of their quest, crossing the treacherous Rainbow Bridge. The journey to the bridge was marked by a changing landscape. The forest gave way to rolling hills and vibrant meadows, where wildflowers bloomed in every color imaginable. It was clear that the land was recovering from the darkness, thanks to their efforts. As they approached the Rainbow Bridge, Sparkle's eyes widened in awe. The bridge was a majestic structure made entirely of shimmering, translucent rainbow colors, arching high over a deep chasm. It sparkled under the sunlight, casting brilliant hues across the valley below. "This is incredible," Twinkle said, her eyes gleaming. "But I have a feeling it won't be an easy crossing." The bridge swayed gently in the breeze, and its colors seemed to shift and flow as if alive. Sparkly wagged his tail excitedly and darted toward the bridge, only to be stopped by Sparkle. "Wait up, Sparkly," Sparkle called out. "We need to be careful." The Rainbow's Bane mentioned obstacles, and I don't think he was kidding. As they stepped onto the bridge, they were immediately greeted by a series of challenges. The first challenge was a series of moving platforms, made of rainbow colors that shifted in and out of alignment. The platforms moved in a rhythmic pattern, and they had to time their steps perfectly to avoid falling into the chasm below. "This is like a giant game of hopscotch," Twinkle said, her wings fluttering as she flew alongside Sparkle. "We'll need to be quick and careful." Sparkle and Twinkle took turns guiding Sparkly across the platforms, jumping and dodging with precision. Sparkly, with his playful nature, occasionally leaped and barked, adding a touch of excitement to their crossing. As they reached the middle of the bridge, they encountered the second challenge, a swirling vortex of colors that created illusions and disoriented them. The vortex made it difficult to see, and the colors seemed to blend together, creating a dizzying effect. "Stay close," Sparkle shouted over the roar of the vortex. "We need to find a way through this." Twinkle began to chant a calming spell, her voice steady and soothing. The spell created a protective shield around them, helping to cut through the confusion of the vortex. With determination and teamwork, they navigated through the swirling colors and emerged on the other side. But their challenges were not yet over. As they neared the end of the bridge, they were met by the Rainbow's Bane himself, floating in front of the final obstacle, a series of rainbow beams that crisscrossed the path, creating a maze of light and color. "Ha, you made it this far," Rainbow's Bane said with a sly grin. "But I bet you can't get past this." The beams of light shifted rapidly, making it difficult to discern a clear path. The Rainbow's Bane floated above, his eyes twinkling with mischief. Sparkle took a deep breath and observed the patterns of the beams. "We need to find a rhythm and time our movements carefully." Twinkle's eyes sparkled with determination. "Let's use our combined magic to create a path through the beams." As Sparkle and Twinkle worked together, they combined their magic to stabilize the shifting beams, creating a safe passage through the maze. The Rainbow's Bane's laughter turned to surprise as they navigated the beams with skill. "You're better than I thought," Rainbow's Bane said, his tone begrudgingly admiring. "But this isn't the end. There's one more challenge waiting for you." With a final burst of magic, the Rainbow's Bane disappeared, leaving behind a small, glimmering key on a pedestal at the end of the bridge. The key was adorned with rainbow-colored gems, and it seemed to pulse with a soft, magical glow. Sparkle approached the pedestal and carefully picked up the key. "This must be the key to unlocking the final chamber, where the last color is hidden." Twinkle nodded, her eyes filled with excitement. "Let's get this key to the Rainbow's Guardian. We're almost there." As they made their way off the bridge, the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the land. The colors they had recovered so far seemed to shimmer with renewed vibrancy, and Sparkle felt a sense of accomplishment and anticipation. They traveled through the evening, arriving at a secluded grove where the Rainbow's Guardian awaited them. The Guardian, a majestic being of light and color, greeted them with a warm smile. "You've done well to make it this far," the Rainbow's guardian said, but the final challenge will test your true resolve. Sparkle and Twinkle exchanged determined glances. We're ready, Sparkle said. We'll do whatever it takes to restore the rainbow. The Rainbow's guardian nodded and guided them to a hidden entrance in the grove, where the final challenge awaited. As they prepared for the final leg of their journey, Sparkle felt a surge of hope and excitement. The adventure had been filled with challenges and triumphs, and they were one step closer to completing their quest and restoring the rainbow to its full glory. Chapter 5. The Final Confrontation. With the shimmering key in hand, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly followed the Rainbow's guardian to a hidden entrance, nestled among ancient trees. The entrance was adorned with glowing runes that pulsed with a soft, inviting light. This is it, the Rainbow's guardian said, gesturing toward the entrance. Beyond this door lies the final challenge. Only those with pure hearts and unwavering courage can succeed. Sparkle took a deep breath and stepped forward, her heart pounding with anticipation. The door creaked open to reveal a vast chamber filled with swirling mists and shifting shadows. At the center of the chamber was a large pedestal, and atop it rested a vibrant, pulsating orb, the last color needed to restore the rainbow. But standing between them and the orb was Shadowclaw, the sinister shadow creature they had heard so much about. His eyes glowed with a malevolent light as he hovered above the pedestal, his shadowy form writhing and shifting. "Welcome to my domain," Shadowclaw hissed, his voice echoing through the chamber. "You've made it far, but you won't be taking the final color without a fight." Sparkle's eyes narrowed. "We won't let you stop us, Shadowclaw. The rainbow must be restored." Twinkle prepared her wand, her wings flaring with magical energy. "We'll see about that. Let's show him what we're made of." Shadowclaw's form darkened as he summoned swirling shadow tendrils that lashed out at Sparkle and her friends. The tendrils writhed and twisted, creating a chaotic and disorienting field of darkness. "Stay close," Sparkle shouted, her horn glowing with a bright, protective light. "We need to break through his shadows." Twinkle began casting spells, her wand sending bursts of radiant light toward Shadowclaw. The light cut through the darkness, creating temporary clearings where they could maneuver. Sparkly darted around, barking and leaping to distract Shadowclaw. Despite their efforts, Shadowclaw was a formidable opponent. He summoned waves of shadowy minions that emerged from the floor, adding to the chaos. The minions clawed at Sparkle and Twinkle, making it difficult for them to focus on their main target. "We need a strategy," Twinkle said, her voice strained. "He's too powerful to fight head-on." Sparkle took a moment to assess the situation. "We need to find a way to weaken him. Let's use the magic from the key." The key they had recovered from the Rainbow's Bane began to glow with a vibrant, rainbow-colored light. Sparkle raised it high, and the light from the key began to pulse rhythmically, creating a barrier that pushed back the shadowy minions. "The key's magic is working," Sparkle said, her confidence growing. "We can use it to create a safe zone." Twinkle focused her spells on enhancing the barrier created by the key, creating a protective dome around them. The shadows recoiled, unable to penetrate the barrier. With a clear path, Sparkle and Twinkle charged toward Shadowclaw. Shadowclaw's eyes narrowed in frustration as he saw his minions being repelled. "You're more resourceful than I anticipated, but this won't be enough to stop me." With a roar, Shadowclaw gathered his dark energy and unleashed a powerful wave of shadow, aimed directly at Sparkle and her friends. The wave was intense, threatening to break through their barrier. Twinkle's wings fluttered furiously as she cast a counterspell, her magic mixing with the key's light to create a powerful shield that absorbed the wave. The clash of energies created a blinding flash of light. As the light faded, Sparkle noticed that Shadowclaw was weakening. His shadowy form flickered and wavered, showing signs of instability. "Now's our chance," Sparkle said, her voice determined. "Let's finish this." With a final surge of magic, Sparkle and Twinkle combined their powers to create a brilliant beam of rainbow light. The beam pierced through Shadowclaw's form, unraveling the shadows and dispersing them into harmless wisps. Shadowclaw let out a final, frustrated roar before his form dissolved completely, leaving only a faint echo of his laughter behind. The chamber fell silent, the mists and shadows dissipating. The vibrant orb on the pedestal glowed with a renewed brilliance, and the final color of the rainbow was now within reach. Sparkle approached the pedestal, her heart filled with a sense of triumph. "We did it! The last color is ours." Twinkle smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "And now we can restore the rainbow and bring back the joy it brings to the land." With the final color in hand, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly made their way back to the rainbow's guardian. The guardian awaited them with a warm, approving smile. "You have proven your courage and determination," the rainbow's guardian said. "The rainbow can now be restored." The guardian guided them to a grand, magical altar where the colors were to be placed. As Sparkle and Twinkle carefully arranged the colors in their proper order, a brilliant light began to emanate from the altar. The colors swirled together, creating a magnificent, radiant rainbow that arched across the sky. The rainbow's light spread across the land, casting vibrant hues and bringing a sense of joy and wonder to everyone who beheld it. The kingdom celebrated the return of the rainbow with a grand festival, filled with music, dancing, and laughter. Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly stood together, watching the festivities with a sense of fulfillment. The rainbow had been restored, and the land was once again filled with color and happiness. "Well done, everyone," Sparkle said, her heart swelling with pride. "We've completed our quest and made the world a brighter place." Twinkle fluttered her wings happily. "And we've proven that with courage, friendship, and a little magic, anything is possible." As the festival continued and the rainbow shone brightly in the sky, Sparkle, Twinkle, and Sparkly knew that their adventure had made a lasting impact on their world. They had faced challenges, overcome obstacles, and brought joy back to the land, all while strengthening their bonds of friendship. And as they looked up at the rainbow, they knew that their journey was just the beginning of many more magical adventures to come. The end.